Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in Vampire a Requiem for London. Tonight, we set the scene with Julian T. Goodman, who has been sent by his sire to the town of Seville. The west side of London. All the way out. Past Wembley, past Ealing. Just east of Hillingdon and Slough. Your sire has arranged with the Carthians that you be allowed to visit the domain. It is a town. No Carthian has actually claimed it as their own, although you have been told that they on occasion feed there. Recently, homicide rates have been spiking within the domain, Seville being one of the main trouble spots. You've been asked to investigate and bring back one of the perpetrators of these crimes. Why your sire is helping out the Carthians is anybody's guess. Perhaps it is simply just a side effect of the location, just happens to be in Carthian domain. But in any case, you have been granted at the very least free passage into the domain. Getting there for you takes a while. It's not safe to use the underground in your current state. Too many cameras. Not enough exits. Your sire provides you a plain, indistinct four-door car. Looks used. Very unremarkable. But it blends in. What do you do when you first get there?
Outside contacting, let's call him Lee, my underworld contact, talking about, hey, I may need help with a snag and grab, and I don't need any questions either. And seeing how he responds to that.
The response is how much you paying.
And he says, for you to assist me to make sure the body gets moved and not ask why the body looks like what it is, the equivalency of 2 points of cash, which is all I got left. So.
When and where?
I said, I'll give you a signal.
Message us when you need us, is the response you get.
Yeah. And I also state that, need you or not, you get your money. The fact that you accepted the work, you still get paid.
There isn't much of a response after that.
Then I will go through the notes that Thistle gave me about general descriptions of either target.
The description of your first target is a blonde Caucasian man. Name unknown. But they are believed to be a deva. Based on their capacity for violence. It is noted that this information was provided by a combination of Ordo and Carthian witnesses.
All right.
There isn't much on the individual.
Thus, atypical height build from what the witnesses say, but other than that, just guesses.
You know, in Sovel, they'd stand out. Sovel has a fairly large South Asian population, so much so that it is often called Little Punjab or Little India.
And the other one?
Just the one target for tonight. It is noted that this individual is accompanied by, or believed to be accompanied by, a group of kindred loyal to him, or that he is loyal to.
Julian kind of digs into the steering wheel. It's like frustrated by the idea of interference, but it'd be the smart thing to do for this individual. It'd be dumb to be by himself.
The notes recommend an isolated assault. This individual doesn't appear to be in charge of his coterie, so he cannot command them, you think. But if he were to be assaulted, you believe logically they would come to his aid.
And as Julian is driving around and thinking of a strategy, the kindred senses do not affect blood sympathy, correct?
Don't think so.
Okay. He thought about going into frenzy and taking the enhanced senses that he has to possibly sense it, but he comes to the realization like until he gets close enough that's a false move to do. And no reason to waste the effort. But if he's supposed to be a blonde man in an area where blonde people aren't common, and if he's a deva, if we're just going to go with stereotypes, he's going to go to a place where there's a lot of people and a lot of people having fun. So, could I make an intelligence streetwise check to think of any type of clubs around this area?
Roll me wit streetwise.
Success.
The club scene in Seville is non-existent. Literally, actually. There are no clubs of significance, really. There are a few pubs, a few restaurants. But no serious nightclubs.
Okay.
Which means if they're hunting, they're likely hunting on the street or via restaurant culture, pub culture.
Too public and too many people that would usually talk. So can't just walk around in there.
You could scout a few out. Something you notice with your predatory senses.
Yeah. That's probably what he will
Is,
be doing because he doesn't want to risk walking on the street and getting noticed.
Yeah, something you notice with your predatory senses. A number of humans here appear to be tired and their heart rates are slow. You can sense their blood is thin.
Like too much alcohol or meaning disease.
Less of it. It's not so omnipresent that it becomes like an obvious breach of the masquerade, for example, but the fact that you're finding individuals within minutes of you arriving here is somewhat concerning. Seville is not that large. A voracious coder of kindred could strain it, particularly if it's cohabited by Carthians.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. This place doesn't really look like it'd be very popular for hunting at all. Perhaps why this stranger coterie has been able to survive here.
I see. And this will eventually take notice on. Well, it's already been taking notice on the news. But if any more people keen eyes, all of a sudden people. There's an actual medical term I forgot, but people start noticing. Oh, everybody seems to have lower blood supply. That's going to get somebody's attention. I forgot the actual word. Not low, but there's an actual word for it. I can't remember it.
For what?
It's not necessarily low blood pressure. I think it is actually for low blood pressure because it's a particular condition where I think as your blood pressure gets too low, typically you fall unconscious. There's an actual word for it, and this could, and with if I'm sensing like that, this could be seen like a symptom like that. But in this case,
anemic.
Yes, anemic. There you go. And said mass anemia is not gonna look good. Said for more keen eyes. But nonetheless, as he's going through the streets, and kind of driving around, typical vermin population, mice, rats, a few birds, maybe a dog and a cat.
Want to use animalism?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like animals I could actually recognize, like because typically, well, cats and dogs can recognize people to a point.
Cats, dogs definitely. Cats, a bit less intelligent, but still on a level. Birds can. Most mammals can, at least as far as animalism is concerned.
And is this considered a social dice roll?
In order to summon animals to you via animalism, you'll need to make a manipulation plus animal kin plus animalism check.
Yes. I just want to make sure if it's social in nature, because my broken condition would affect it.
Um, yeah, it is a social check.
All right, then I have -2 to this roll. Manipulation plus animal kin, which is 4, plus animalism, which is 5, -2, so that's 3 dice. Two successes.
As you sort of hang off on a side street. There aren't too many people on a street, but still never hurts to be careful in London, particularly. The surveillance city. You draw a few. What animals are you looking for again? Sorry, just animals in general, or
I would say dogs. So they can recognize people and possibly search out people for me if I can give them enough incentive.
okay. Couple of dogs get summoned by your call. They approach you, fairly friendly.
Julian will kind of step out of the car and get low, and if they accept, they leave and actually try to pet them.
They're under the effects of animalism, so they'll do what you want them to.
All right. And I'll ask them, have you seen a man that's describing the feature of this particular kindred like this around this area?
Do you like show them the picture or just give a description?
No, I'll show them the picture. Whatever tools would best help them. They're not like pigeons or go like, nah, man, gotta think about this for a minute. I'm trying to remember that those pigeons back in New York.
One of the dogs looks confused, but the other one appears to have some sort of vague sense of recognition.
Yeah, so he'll focus on that one and say, Can you remember where you see him the most at?"
Yes. Old house, not too far away.
And he says, "Thank you."
I can lead you there if you'd like.
Please.
Begins to you do down the town. I presume you don't have your mask on in public.
Because that's gonna bring unnecessary amount of attention. So
You just kind of hide your face, just keep a low profile, I assume.
yeah,
Just don't
if
stay on the streets too long, yeah, that sort of thing.
if I need to make a roll, I got stealth, and I got streetwise.
As long as you stay away from people, don't get too close and stay out of any bright lights, you shouldn't be identified, probably. It leads you on something of a journey.
So I don't rush him. So we
Takes
got
you. Yeah, he takes you on a pretty long walk, like pretty far away from your car. Well out of town. Rather, not well out of town, but quite far out the center. Down south, not too far from the manor house. And he takes you about just a few blocks away from the manor house to what appears to be some sort of old heritage house, but it looks condemned, like it hasn't been used, hasn't been repaired.
the classic.
Not many other places to stay in Seville. Got a few houses, got some restaurants, a few shops. But it's not prime hunting territory. That much has become very clear. Aren't many people out at night in this neighborhood.
Mm.
Just not much of a nightlife. So the dog actually stops quite a distance away from the house. He doesn't want to go any further. But
Yeah, when I see him do that, I pet him on the head and say thank you. So
anytime, you're much nicer than they are.
yeah, he nods to that, which kind of explains something right there. And he just simply says, "The dog, be safe out there."
The stray mutt wanders off.
I look around the street. There's not a lot of traffic, quote unquote, correct?
Not really, no.
How about high ground?
You got the roofs of some buildings opposite side of the road. The house itself is detached.
And if I could find a fire exit and begin climbing that to the rooftops, to look at the building from a higher vantage point, and mentally prepare myself before I do what I do.
Oh, pardon?
I said if the building or if there's a fire exit that I can climb up to the top of the roofs to look at the building at a higher vantage point, that would be cool. And I plan on also doing another thing once I get on top of there.
Yeah, these are all two-story buildings. They don't have any fire exits, unfortunately.
Okay, so have to do it the hard way.
Mm, unfortunately so.
Strength athletics.
Strength athletics to climb one of the houses, and to do so without raising alarm is a wit stealth roll as well.
Okay, and I'll do the wit stealth first. That's 3 successes. And you know what? I'll spend a vitae on this for the strength athletics. That's 4 successes.
Alright, so you climb up the building with relative ease. Bit of effort, but relative ease. And do so relatively subtly. You hear no movement from inside the building that you climb.
And once I get on top, looking at the building, I begin doing my mental exercises to shake the cage. And the command or the goal I wish to give the beast, I guess give us, would be to hunt and secure.
Keep in mind, you have yet to see your target. If they're with a group, your beast will pursue that goal irrespective of whether the group is with him.
That is true. Then I may want to hold back on that then. So no, will begin getting closer. I guess I've been inspecting the building a bit from this vantage point for a little bit, then begin moving in.
Alright. As you approach the building from above, and I assume you make a short leap across the roof.
Mm-hmm.
You find you can hear the sound of movement slightly on the lower floors, but your predatory senses detect no heartbeat, no breathing, no nothing. You hear what is probably 2 people. There are few enough footsteps that you can estimate the amount of people inside.
That's just 2 people I can hear or feel moving. They could be people asleep. So I won't assume that there's only 2 people. That'd be foolish in my position.
And you're about 10 to 15 minutes away from your vehicle.
Not gonna risk moving it closer and causing that to spook these guys. No reason to. Cars, even when you drive them gently, are still have a very distinct noise. So Julian will continue moving closer to the building. So looking out for doesn't seem like there's any, lookouts right now. The outside's relatively empty. The only thing I guess I would be worried about is cameras, or if for some reason these guys were that paranoid, or advanced motion sensors.
Okay. Predatory sensors aren't super useful for detecting kindred. At least not
Not
audibly.
But I do have acute senses, so I can focus it to just in general take my surroundings very, very distinctly.
And one thing that you can do is you can attempt to scent out the beast, which is something kindred can do. Kindred senses are sharper than the average person, so they can actually smell the beast on someone. Gangrel are quite notorious for it, as are many kindred who have developed a talent for just tracking kindred over miles by the scent of their blood alone.
If I can, I will, because if they've been feeding, Vite will be in the air. Or they've just been messing around. That would be a resolve composure roll, I think.
Oh, sorry, what were you looking to do?
So, as I'm getting closer to the building, I'm just going to begin smelling at the air. Like, do I smell blood or Vite?
Oh yeah, roll me wits plus composure plus your blood potency.
Okay. Wits plus composure. And the blood potency, is that from the particular action I'm doing, or is that from my acute senses? I only ask that because acute senses adds my blood points to all types of perception checks.
Yeah, add acute senses as well.
Yep. And if I get exceptional success, I become obsessive.
Two successes, so no obsession tonight.
Nope.
So you can definitely scent out two predatory auras in the building. They're both on the ground floor. They appear to be in the same room. You can, with your acute senses, you can hear mumbling, but you can't hear what's being said.
And let's see. How dark is this area? Like street lights or just general moonlight? That there is.
Pardon?
I said, how bright is this area? Like, or more or less, what's the lighting of this area? Is the building completely dark? Are there street lights?
Street lights along the road, but other than that, it's fairly dark.
Okay,
The streets are well lit. The house itself is not.
curious. Then, and this is always the awkward part. If I get too close, they may sense my predatory aura, because I do not have obfuscate.
Only if we're actively looking for it. A kindred's predatory aura. You need to be more than just in the vicinity. They have to sense. They have to do something to sense it. So they need to see you, touch you, smell you, etc.
Okay. Then I will get closer to the building and just kind of, if the windows are all boarded up, if there's a few that aren't, I'll try so I see through it. Because if it is, because I'm curious, because if the building is pitch black and they're moving around normally, that means something. Because even kindred senses can't see in absolute darkness unless you use certain abilities.
Yeah, the bottom, the ground floor windows are boarded up. The second floor ones aren't. The curtains are closed.
And
But some of the windows are smashed. It would be difficult for you to get in without taking some form of injury unless you were to use resilience. It's not really possible for you to weave on through without getting caught on glass. It's just not really possible. The window's not big enough. It's one of those windows that's divided up into sections.
no, I get that.
Mm.
But though the risk of self harm is there, it is quick and relatively quiet as long as I don't totally mess up.
Yeah. And if you use resilience, you should be able to, well, you wouldn't bleed even if you took injuries, although.
It'd be purely superficial, with nothing that actually involved cutting something vital.
Mm.
So
You can control your own blood, so you only bleed if you will it. Your body doesn't bleed. Even if you have an open wound, it's not an issue. Although it could allow the other kindred to send you out, so.
now I will go through the window and this because one this they're already on the bottom floor. I can if one of them for some reason comes up if one of them comes up to the second floor and it's my target, that makes it that much easier. If not, I could maybe wait these guys out, or at least see if there's any pattern of conversation or distract them. So, oh no, go ahead.
So are you just going to remain outside or stay
No,
within the.
I'm gonna actually go through the second floor window.
Okay. Do you use resilience?
Um, cover vest won't protect me enough, so I have to use it.
Um, it protects your torso, doesn't protect your arms or your legs, so
No,
you will take some damage.
no. Then I'll spend the resilience. I got the blood.
Okay. Yeah. You're able to make your way through the window without taking any damage. The glass just shifts along your skin. It doesn't break it. There is a couple of fragments that fall to the floor, but nothing particularly loud. You do need to be careful to avoid the shards of glass, but you already succeeded at your stealth check, so I won't make you roll again. You avoid the glass without causing any undue noise. A bit of noise is unavoidable, but for the most part, you are fairly quiet. at the very least, those beneath you have not stopped their mumbling. You can hear them a bit more clearly now.
When I'm in the building, electric candle lights or no lights whatsoever outside of the lights outside.
It's very dark in here, no lights.
That brings mild concern to Julian. But he will begin kind of almost getting flat to the ground and see if he can hear through the floorboards to the bottom floor.
Not really, unfortunately.
Okay.
You attempt to listen, but it really just kind of makes things more mumbled. They're in a room to the front of you, so the noise isn't really carrying cleanly into the room beneath you and up through the floorboards.
Alrighty. Then with that, let's see. Since I do have the time, Julian will mainly kind of wait for a moment to see if anything changes, or they just keep talking. No reason to rush this. If he can get closer to hear more clearly, he will do so as well.
They appear to be arguing about their current accommodation. I don't think they can stay here much longer. It's a male voice and a female voice. The woman wants to stay, but the male wants to leave. Thinks they need to keep on the move. Both of them seem to agree that they'll need to leave at some point. They're just disagreeing on when to leave.
Anything else from them outside of this particular move?
They don't feel secure here. They both seem to be fairly aware of the Carthian conflict of the Invictus. When they speak of them directly, they use their terms. They're also quite resentful of the Invictus. Rid of a deal they had with them fell through.
With the Carthians?
They don't really comment on the Carthians other than looking down on them as completely blind fools as they're sitting in their very domain. But then again, they are talking of moving, and they seem to have moved around quite a lot. So perhaps the Carthians aren't as blind as they're saying they are. It's likely they're on the move because they know they'll get caught if they stay in one place.
Okay. That. Nah. I need these guys to be separated, distracted, or not. Just try to make the risk of the stealth and actually see who are talking. Because technically my target could not be here, and I made a mistake, and I just need to leave.
Okay. You can attempt to approach further head down the stairs or attempt to jump down. It will be a dex plus stealth roll. -3 dice because this building is quite, well, it's a condemned building. It's not safe to live within. There's a lot of detritus and the floorboards make a lot of noise. It's very difficult to move quietly here.
All right, now let's see. I will spend another vitae, and I'll make the roll. Two successes.
Okay. You managed to move fairly quietly. You move very slowly. It's the only way for you to really get down the stairs without causing a lot of noise. But you do. As you do, one of the individuals crosses the room into a small kitchen. As you peek into the main living room, which is where most of the arguing was coming from, see this man. Who's very much the target on your list, on your profile.
Not in the mood to fight two people at once. Nor do I need them to one of them get away and tell their friends. So let's see how close these particular people are. She moves into the kitchen when that's the best way to do this.
Yep, it's just sort of right at the stairs. They're still arguing. They're now just yelling at each other from across the kitchen and the living room. You actually have to pull back your head to stay out of sight.
Yeah, I should, especially if I'm this close, I should perhaps hear them nearly perfectly clear.
Yeah.
Then, as the arguing continues, Julian puts on his mask, and since he can actually see the target, so he can better focus the beast, and I would like to have as many advantages as I can. Yeah, I am going to shake the cage.
You're going to stir the beast.
Yep.
Okay. And I assume you're going to ride the wave.
Yes. One of the few things I'm good at.
Smash and grab.
You know what? This is important. So I will spend outside the willpower to stir the beast, spend another willpower to help ride the wave.
You can only spend 1 willpower point per turn.
Oh yeah, that is true. All right, then I'll just stir the
I
beast
don't
and
think. What is your level of Coil of Worm, by the way?
oh, it's 3. So I get a bonus to it.
So you don't need to spend willpower to ride the wave.
No, I do not.
So you can spend a 1 willpower point to increase your odds if you have the appropriate riding the wave style, which I think you do.
Yes, I do. I actually am a master of it.
Yes.
Because the wording says you regain all the willpower you spend riding the wave. I don't think it says spend all the willpower. You gain the willpower back for using actions in it. So,
Right, well,
but nonetheless,
roll your dice. You need 5 successes.
right. 2. 3. That's 4. I don't want to repeat that one thing that takes me nearly 5 minutes. So hopefully I'll just get the other one and be done with it.
Okay. When you begin contesting your beast, your feet dig into the ground and your hands slam against the wall.
Oh, no.
Fighting the beast is not a subtle action. Both figures immediately leave their rooms to investigate what the hell that noise was, as they hear an odd growling sound coming from you. And as soon as they both see you, he just goes, "Oh shit, I told you, I fucking told you." We're gonna roll initiative.
Okie dokie.
Actually, we're not gonna roll initiative, because I know who goes first in this situation. So he will actually take a swing at you because he is fast.
Okie dokie.
What's your defense?
My defense is actually 2 now. Not 1 anymore.
Okay, 1 second. All right. Oh my god, okay. All right, fuck. So, he inflicts 8 bashing to you as his fist slams into you and sends you literally flying out the building.
I'm assuming exceptional plus 3 vigor.
He got 6 successes.
Oh no, even worse.
He got a 7, a 10, a 4, a 10, a 5, a 10, a 5, an 8, a 10, which exploded into a 9.
But yeah, I'm gonna turn on that resilience.
Now you have armor.
Yes, that only reduces it down to
he's-
1 by 1.
Yeah, and he got an exceptional success, so his fist is literally going to punch straight through your armor, which is going to ruin it.
I just got this thing.
It is the nature of dealing with people who can rip open walls and bend prison bars, and
The list goes on. Vigor is a hell of a discipline.
yeah, it really is. So your resilience is 3, yeah?
No, my resilience is only 2.
Okay, so you soak 3 of this damage. Your armor will soak 1 for this round, so you halve the damage. You take 4 bashing. You can still attempt to ride the wave.
Yes, I can. Oh, thank God. I did not want to repeat it last time.
So, you are sitting at how many successes?
That
3?
is 5. So I am in.
Okay. You roll really poorly on these, I must say.
I've done exceptional successes at least twice, I remember. But yeah, it's and I have a decent dice pool. Like you always end up with a decent dice pool. It comes with the coil.
How many rolls did you make before combat?
I did 3. Then I stopped when you described the situation.
Sorry, yeah, it should have been 1. But I'll give you 2 because it takes them a turn to get out and figure out what the fuck's going on. So,
and I am at 3 successes then.
Okay. And you can keep the roll for next turn, in which case you'll be able to attack on that turn.
And riding the wave is a reflexive action. So, and since that dude basically punched me through the stairs, I'm gonna commit to a dodge action.
Are you gonna commit to dodging the fuck out of? 1 second, let me check if that's reflexive or not. Is it?
Riding the wave, I believe it is. If not, I know Stir the Beast is for sure. So
Stir the Beast is.
Let's see. Wait, there you go. Tricks of the Damned. Da, 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 da.
I think you're right. I think you could still act while attempting to ride the wave.
Yeah, it's just typically because you're taking damage and you're annoying the beast, you probably have to spend like more willpower. That's it. I'm at 3rd coil, so the beast is annoyed, but I can keep the reins on and go, no, gotta focus first.
Yeah, because like part of the point of like spending willpower is to give yourself a turn to get the fuck away from whatever's causing your frenzy, so you stop frenzying at all.
Yeah.
Or just like give your target some time. So I think it probably is reflexive. Particularly since frenzy is provoked more often than stirred. So I will actually consider it reflexive. So you're spending for a dodge.
Yeah. That's all that guy did. That's a clear sign.
The lady's gonna try and she's gonna try and just hit you. Just hit you really fucking hard.
All right, my defense now is because it's my wits is still the lowest. I believe. Actually, you know what? We got the book over. We can just look at it. We don't have to guess.
Yeah.
Okay, dodging. Good chance. Said.
She only does she only hits you for 3 bashing, which if you're resilience, I think you fully absorb that.
I fully absorb, but I don't want to get hungry and eat these people. I have had a pattern of doing that. So And dodging instead, roll defense, so the dice will and strike you sec.
Oh yeah,
So,
if you're trying to dodge, you'll be dodging her. So
Yeah, so and that is, let's see, and my sheet will tell me too.
it's your dex plus your athletics.
Yeah, times 2.
Dex plus wits plus it's stuff.
Yeah, it should. Cause,
Yes, dex plus athletics. Times 2.
Yeah, so.
It's basically your defense times 2, but it's like adding your dex and multiplying that by 2 as well.
Yep, because we don't naturally add our athletics in this particular game.
Yep, because it's OP as fuck.
5, so that's 10. Yeah, so I'll roll 10 dice. I can count. Oh, yeah. As she takes a swing, Julian kind of ducks his head and gets back into a defensive position as he's trying to dodge and keep his beast at the same time. It is a roller coaster of multiple things at once right now.
Well, you managed to avoid her attack, which slams into one of the walls and just goes straight through it.
Okay, well, the walls, this place is condemned. That actually could be a natural response, or at least just physical intensity. I'm not going to assume vigor for every punch through the wall. Even people can do that.
So, your target's going to hit you again. Because it's going to be a new round. And he is faster than you.
Yes, he is.
Oof.
And I guess that's
strikes.
do you got to keep dodging, or is it once per dodge?
Dodging is a full action. So you can't, if you dodge, you can't attack.
Yeah.
Unless you have celerity. If you have celerity, you can, but
No,
even with celerity, you can't do it that much. So he hits you for another 5 bashing. He hits you extremely hard.
Okay. And I will spend another resilience.
All right.
So that is 2. So I'm at 6 bashing. I'll make sure to write that down. I'm starting to get hungry.
Starting. Oh dear.
I'm at half my dice, half my vitae full now. I am in. If I'm keeping the roll from last time, I am riding the wave.
Yes. So you now get a bunch of benefits. Your dex, your stamina, and your strength will all go up, although you don't get the extra health from stamina.
No, I do not. Need my coil level 4 for that. But raw numbers are still raw numbers, so if I didn't use resilience, and with it now, I'm harder to stun because he would have stunned me if I didn't use resilience.
So your next attack.
Yeah, because it's a new round. So, okay, I'm lean, mean, fighting machine, and
so you're already fighting at the back of the building. He knocked you out, and you had to charge him down again.
Main thing is keep these guys attacking me. Don't let them run or call friends. So I am going to do something that's highly dangerous, but will either cause them, well, if their mindset right now is to kill me, hopefully just try to keep trying to kill me. Hopefully they do not run.
Hey, they would have to abandon shop if they kill the only witness, right?
Yeah. So I am going to lash out with the monstrous beast at my target, but hopefully provoke him if they keep attacking me.
Okay, roll me your strength plus your blood potency.
Plus extra dice because of my coil. Yay.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's. I actually want to do this more often, but since going into frenzy is so obvious, I can't be subtle with it. So that's 4 plus my blood potency. That's 5 plus my coil is 8. 3 successes.
Okay. Okay. Your beast lashes out. What version of your predatory aura are you?
It's a monstrous beast. So, he.
Okay, that will inflict the bestial condition on him. Giving him a -2 penalty to his defense.
Yep.
And he's also going to trigger a frenzy check because he's already stressed, and this condition is only going to add to that.
Oh, and any roll that compel you. Yeah, any roll that compel your character aggressive actions 3 or more, or 3 instead of 5. So if he gets 3 successes, it's considered exceptional success.
Okay. He's taking a pretty significant penalty here. Yeah, he enters frenzy.
Is it exceptional success? Because that's is saying specifically aggressive actions and or escaping achieve at 3 or 5, and of course the penalty to resist frenzy is -2. So
No, he fails his frenzy check, and he rolls to compel the character to impulsive aggressive action is not relevant here.
okay.
Because you want successes. It's basically it's if other people try to compel him as opposed to the beast. The beast is for resisting frenzy. He wants successes on that check, so yeah, no, he enters frenzy. His colleague, friend, frenemy. Really, all you've seen them do is argue each other and swear at each other and threaten each other. He's gonna attack you. I don't believe your defense has increased because it's the lower of your dex or wits.
Yep. It's a massive coil level 4 for me.
Oh, she misses you. As her partner enters frenzy, she ends up being thrown to the side, actually. Goes through the staircase railing and is smashed against the wall. Has to pick herself up on the staircase. As you fight throughout the building.
Yeah, I need to make sure she doesn't run too. God damn it.
Oh. She doesn't know who you are. If she runs, it's just one less target for you, right?
Yeah, but then her friends might come back really quick. That's the risk of life.
Oh. So
I may lash out with her with the competitive beast, especially with getting thrown through the wall. She might not take that very well. Yeah. But yeah, so now top to the next round, right?
next round, your friend is your friend.
The angry serpent does angry serpent things.
Oh yeah. The beast will strike you down. They strike you for another 3 bashing.
Alright, I will spend another vitae at that.
What vitae are you on now? 4?
4.
Okay. To be fair, they're not doing that much better than you.
No, but he's angry and supercharged, which I want because I don't want him to reconsider his actions. But I also can't just beat the shit out of him and put him in a bag. They want him
He's
intact.
suffering from the bestial condition, so his defense is lower, even if he's faster.
Yep. No, I have some things I'm gonna do. So now that it's my turn and we're in this particular position, though this may be risky because he is a Deva and he already confirmed early on he has the vigor, but I am good at the grappling, so I am going to grapple.
Okay, for that you just need to make a straight strength plus brawl check.
Yep.
And then we're going to determine... We'll streamline this because the grappling rules are a little bit finicky, so...
So my strength is 4 plus my brawl, which is 3.
Well, strength plus brawl minus defense.
Yep. What is his defense now?
His defense is only 2.
Alright, so that's roll 5. And I will spend a willpower, which activates my animal grace. 3 successes.
Okay. You initiate the grapple.
And I do 3 lethal to him as I bite into him. Or actually,
yeah,
no. Again, I don't want to mess this guy up too
you're
bad.
in frenzy. You can just take a bite as soon as you grapple somebody.
But again, I was told to keep him intact, so I instead am going to use my grappler specialty or grappling style, and more when I come into him, I knee him really hard into the ribs. So do 3 bludgeoning instead.
Okay.
That's it. I'm trying to be the responsible Ordo.
Okay, so you do 3 bashing.
Mm-hmm.
And how much vitae do you take?
I don't take anything since I didn't bite him.
Okay. I think you just take 1 anyway, because you can only take as much vitae as you have blood potency.
Yeah, I would only take 1, but so not trying to destroy his body, just want him unconscious.
Well, if he's torpid, could be some time before he wakes up.
Nope. Main thing I'm trying to do, because I can actually stun him pretty easily right now once I have a hands on him. If I could stun him, I can just literally just break through the floorboard and stake him.
Potentially. You certainly have a lot of strength in frenzy.
I might be as strong as he am, right? As strong as he is right now. I'm strength 4.
Yeah. It is actually... No, he had his turn, so it's
the other lady.
Yeah, she smashes you for 2 bashing.
I'll take it. So that's 8 bashing for me.
How much health have you got?
I have a lot.
Yeah, I know you have a lot. It's
the actual numbers instead of being an impish.
I think 11, right?
Let's see. Size is 5 plus my stamina, which is already 4 plus 2 resilience is 11. Yes.
Yeah. So you have quite a lot. You still got... She's beating away at you, but she doesn't have enough strength to really knock you down fast enough. So at this point, she's just slowly smashing you through the floorboards herself, but frankly, you have dealt with worse than this. A lot worse. She is not that strong.
Does our good friend want to try to take control of the grapple or just attack me?
Roll to take control of the grapple.
Alrighty.
It is, you do not apply each other's defense, so just roll me your strength plus brawl.
Okay.
He will roll his.
Oh, so that's still.
Oh, I actually rolled. No, I'll just take off 2 dice there. I rolled slightly too many dice for him, but it's fine. He
Yep. I'll spend another willpower. Down to 1 now. Two.
Okay, that is enough. He only got 1 success.
Alrighty. So now that's back to my turn, and the grapple is established. I have my grapple actions. Or I can just attack him, which I don't think I necessarily want to do. So I'm going to commit to, you know what? Because I can. Because he can't use me for cover, but I can use him for cover.
So you're going to use him as a human shield.
Yep.
All right.
I don't need her to keep hitting me, and I at least might make her hesitate to not try to hit me.
Let's see. Just checking my rules.
No, not a problem.
Treat it is partially concealed because I don't think you'd be substantially concealed using a human being as cover. Significant parts of your body will still be vulnerable. So, all right, okay.
Yep, so characters you can treat them as cover, which do really equal to victim stamina plus any armor.
Yeah, she tries to strike you, but strikes your opponent for 1 bashing.
Hey, that's something. And all right, so then this is an awkward position. He can only now take control of the grapple. He can't try to attack me back.
He can attack you if he wins the grapple contest. He can use the difference in successes to do damage to you.
Okay. All right. Might as well spend it. Oh my last willpower.
He has taken 4 bashing.
Has he? I haven't hit him.
No, you did. When you grappled him, you decided to do bludgeoning damage to him.
Right, forgot.
And then she accidentally struck him. We have a tie.
Let's see.
So, 1 second. Let me see how ties work.
Well, I bet they'll undershoot and don't have anything.
Let's roll again, because there are no rules for a tie, hilariously.
Only 7 this time.
Wow, both of these characters are rolling horribly. You win the grapple contest, so you can choose to take her move.
All right. Let's see. Do I wanna? Yeah, I'm gonna damage him. So that'd be 4 bludgeoning then.
That would be a single bludgeoning.
A single bludgeoning. Okay.
Because you got 1 success, he got 0.
Gotcha.
So we don't seriously damage him now. He's you know that this would probably put a regular mortal on the ropes, but obviously Kindred don't really care. That said, the damage you deal to the body is still going to physically impede him, even if he doesn't feel much pain.
But he is in the frenzy, so too angry to care.
That's true.
Okay. Actually, we're both in that position. We're both too angry to care.
Yep. His colleague is going to dash around you with the power of celerity, so she can get a free shot at you.
All right. My defense is 4 right now because of my animal grace.
She does get +2 dice for flanking you. So she hits you for 2.
I'll take it.
You can see her fangs are bared, her eyes are becoming more sunken, her face is becoming more pale. She's just trying to slowly, like in the chaos of this fight, just beat you down through the floor.
Alrighty, I need to. I can't. As I said earlier, I can't fight them both. Especially when he broke through my Kevlar vest, it's gonna make it that much harder. Especially with the rules I'm under.
Do you have a stake on you?
Do
you have a stake on you?
Yeah. I got mace, I got zip ties, I got duct tape.
If you win the grapple contest, you could attempt to stake him.
Yes, that would be a good idea.
It will probably take multiple attempts, but
I was thinking either doing that or use a maneuver to break his leg. So
the problem is that you've got another target on you. You're gonna have to chase them off.
Yeah.
So you need to get rid of one of them, preferably the one you've got on your arms right now.
Yeah. So
who knows? Maybe you could get 2 for 1.
Maybe. But no guts, no glory. So
no guts, no glory. So make your contest grapple check.
All right. And I'm gonna take a -2 to, if I succeed, to use my small joint manipulation. And I am gonna spend a vitae.
Also, what does small joint manipulation do? Sorry.
If I win a contest, I do a bashing for every 2 successes I have, and I either cause the arm or the leg rack condition.
Nice.
And it's one of those things, especially as a kindred, learning how to do that because it's almost impossible to do without using vigor naturally.
Yeah, you drew. I don't. Did you draw? No, you need to roll, I think.
Holy shit.
Well, I guess you can just stake him now.
Yeah, you know what? I technically get 2 actions if I'm.
You get 2 actions.
So, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stake him and break one of his legs just for good measure. Cause
Okay, he gets the leg crack, and you, wow, with that many successes, yeah, you just slam a stake straight into him. You just pin him, and you take out a stake. Like if you offer, I assume you have a tool belt. You just take out your tool belt, you just slam it in his back, and he just goes completely limp. Like what was a real contest, your beast just wrests control and just completely breaks him. You do still have a target though.
and I'm getting hungry, and I can just kill her.
Well, hey, you could feed from her and get 2 for 1.
Oh yeah. So I am curious how she responds to what happens to her friend.
Hmm. She's not in frenzy.
She's not. So this is a mixture of her own resolve and care for the other person. But if she does not have celerity, I don't think she can actually outrun me, especially in frenzy.
Well, you did see her use celerity to get behind you. She could
That's
have
true.
blurred past you.
That is true.
So she is faster than you. But she's also been using much of her vitae to damage you. She's she sees all of the damage you've taken. This is something that happens very quickly. Because she is attempting to strike you, or she goes to strike you as you just stake her partner. And she hits you again, but she doesn't do any. She doesn't deal any damage. She sees that for all of the strength, for all the punishment both of you have laid onto, both of them have laid onto you, you are barely even phased.
Yeah. They would
You
need to be
have
released.
just been slowly grinding them into dust. And she stops and begins to back off, laying low, crouching, kind of hunched over in a very combative but feral position. And there is a slow, low hiss that leaves her mouth.
If I'm allowed to, as she does that, and as Julian has been getting closer to his beast as the months go by, when he speaks, it comes in a weird dual tone, and he will gesture at her and says, basically, "You will fight," as I lash out with a competitive beast.
Okay. Roll me your beast, and she'll roll hers. You draw.
Hmm.
Second.
Yeah. Oh, they both impose their conditions, but
Oh,
neither
I
get the
completely forgot that you get +2 dice bonus on any rolls to pursue your aspect's interest through the remainder of the scene.
What are you talking
If
about?
you successfully lash out your beast, it says if the aggressor scores more successes, the victim gains the condition associated with the aggressor's beast. As well, the aggressor gains a +2 die bonus on any rolls to pursue her aspect's interests for the remainder of the scene.
Oh. Man, see, that's why I've been lashing out. It's like there's so many cool stuff you could do with this.
Yeah, that would have given you a +2 dice bonus to attack, because it's literally uses strength as its attribute. So yeah, that would have should have been getting more dice. Oh well.
Yeah, that's something we can tell people later.
That's something. Yeah, we learned something new today.
But
to be fair, it's a fairly minor change.
but it says on page 92 if both characters achieve the same number of successes, they both impose their conditions, but neither get the +2 bonus.
So you both forget the competitive conditions, because that's what she was trying to do to you as well.
She's gonna get more out of it than me because I'm out of willpower.
So you're sort of stuck in a Mexican standoff where both of you are sort of sizing each other up, but neither of you is quite willing to make the first move.
So
your beasts appear evenly matched, and both of you know this. Also, because your frenzy is the goal of your frenzy is now complete, you're no longer in frenzy. Leave it.
Well, I can leave it at my leisure. It doesn't matter if I get it out. At least I don't think it does. Because that would be bad right now. Because I'm in a lot of pain. That'd be bad.
When you start a beast, it's a bit harder to leave frenzy when you start it. But yeah. She's going to slowly start backing off into the kitchen. Slowly. You can still sense her. In fact, you can tell where she is in the kitchen. She begins to back off. After all, you're both caked in blood and vitae.
Oh yeah, because my kindred senses is at a blood potency of what? Technically 5 with my acute senses too. So
What do you want to do with this? She's slowly backing away from you.
I'm gonna kill her. So unless she's gonna beg for mercy, which we're both in the position of fuck you right now, so I doubt we're gonna talk.
No. She's gonna activate celerity to get away from you. She has no intention of staying here.
Coward.
And of course, she can outrun you.
Oh, yeah, she can't outrun me. I just hoped the competitive would make her compelled to fight me, but
unfortunately, you are about as compelled to
chase her.
You're not compelled to chase her, but destroying her would, or at least incapacitating her, would resolve your condition.
Yeah, it would. Well, technically, win or lose. Win or lose a competition where someone reaches a breaking point.
Yeah. So.
But it only lasts the night anyway, so.
She runs easily twice your speed. She runs like a speeding car.
I'll take
And
that
just
as the win.
quickly leaps across the street. When she leaps across the street and hangs out along the side street just opposite, you can see her just waiting along its edge, seeing if you'll follow.
Yeah, why can't anybody just be dumb and fight me to the death? It's much easier that way.
You're free to take your prize, or at least you are out of frenzy. You
Attempt.
can make your own choices, or you can attempt to chase her down, but
All she knows is an angry kindred that has resilience attacked her friend because I'm wearing my mask. I didn't show any obvious signs of gangrel or anything like that.
no, you know she can only use celerity for so long. She extended much of her vitae to harm you, so.
And
But
I'm
then
getting
again, maybe how long are you going to continue this song and dance?
exactly, and I'm getting hungry too. I'm at
You're
VT
getting
3.
hungry. No
I'm
doubt.
injured.
No doubt her pack mates are on their way.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's been a while now. You've infiltrated this building over the course of almost half an hour. So
no reason to push it. So
yeah,
call my contact and begin moving.
when she sees that you won't follow her, she simply backs into the side street, and you no longer see her, just leaving your field of view.
But, if I knew that we're gonna kill this guy, I may drink from him just so I'd be less hungry.
You are going to have to roll frenzy if you're around mortals for too long.
Yeah.
How much vitae do you have?
I have 3.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Yep, that's the thing. It's like I would say if we're gonna kill this guy, then I don't have to worry about being addicted to him. But if we aren't, then I have to worry about that.
Still,
Yeah.
you could feed from him. You believe he probably would still have some vitae left in him.
And I did what I said. He's not torpored. He's not in any real major condition. Him being less full is not gonna make me look any worse.
Okay. Well,
So,
your cleanup crew will be arriving soon. The question is, do you want to stay? After all, if you're around mortals, you know you'll need to face your beast.
I'm going to take 2 blood from this guy.
Okay. That's not too much.
This will be back to 5, so
At
I
the
am
very least,
hungry.
that enables you to make a. You'll probably still need to make a check, but it'll be with your full dice pool instead of a penalty.
Yeah.
So, because 4 is when you start taking penalties to hunger. All right. The cleanup crew will arrive within. I assume you would have told them where you would, the area you would have been in prior, so
Yeah.
it won't take too long. Probably only about 10 minutes. They were sort of waiting for your call. So, and they know that in a cleanup crew, you are fast. You got to move quickly.
When they come by and see the destruction, I just look at them as we agreed on. No questions. Just take the body to a location.
Yep. Could you roll me resolve plus composure as you can feel the thrum of their heartbeats? They are healthy and full of blood, and your beast wants a taste.
But if I get a dramatic failure, I just earned it. It's just that's just his character.
Try not to kill these ones.
Yes, I like to not kill any more mortals, but I don't have to. So I am still broken, so I do take a -2.
Oof. Is it -2 to resisting frenzy?
-2 to all social rolls and rolls involving resolve.
Oof. Oh god. Well,
May
I
the odds
believe
forever be in my favor.
depends on how many dice you're rolling. I think if you're rolling 3+ dice, the odds are technically in your favor.
I'm rolling 4.
Okay, well then you have a fair shot. Not a good one, but a fair one.
Woo!
Okay, you get the tempted condition, but you do hold off your beast. Although some of the cleanup crew do give you a weird look. I mean, you're already covered in blood and wearing a mask, but they when they hear the heavy breathing underneath it, they sort of give you a one eye. But they know better than to ask questions. The head of the group will simply inform you that they expect payment in a few days, not now, because they're not foolish, but they will inform you when the job is done, and then they will accept payment in either cash or a wire transfer. Because you'll be paying them in cash, if I recall.
Yes.
Smart. Untraceable. They will take your and did you say you wanted them to take the body to a destination?
Yes, because the Ordo will pick them up, since these are just my mortal contacts.
Okay, then they will take them to a drop-off of your specifications. Outside of that, they'll get to sterilizing the locations where the fight took place, which was the back of the building and the edge of the living room and the staircase. Kindred don't bleed much, so you don't leave with that much to clean up. They're done fairly quickly. With that, you are free to leave. And you're free to leave quietly. Of course, in your current state, you're going to be a bit noticeable. You've taken a lot of injuries, and your arm has been pierced. Your clothing is damaged, but you should be able to make it back to your car safely. You're not too far away from your vehicle, and it is now quite late at night in a neighborhood where there are not many people out. So, with that, I think we can call that a successful mission and a welcome conclusion to a scene. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and we will see you all next time.